Hello everyone, and welcome to the Red River. Today is Tuesday, October 7th, and I've completed my journey on the Missouri River and on the Mississippi River yesterday, making the right turn to the Red. And back in July, I made a video from Newtown, North Dakota, and I talked about the significance of Newtown and how I had been going primarily north and then east, and then Newtown I turned south for the fall. And now that I'm on the Red, it really represents a significant accomplishment on a couple fronts. One, again, I've completed the Missouri and the Mississippi, but two, I'm heading home. I'm going to be primarily going back north, then eventually northwest. By the time I get to Alexandria, my primary direction will be northwest. Then once I get to Shreveport, I'll be going north, and then due west, and then finally I will heading south to Dallas on the Trinity River. So I anticipate that it should take me another month and a half or so to ascend the Red River to the Denison Dam, to go over Lake Texoma, and then come back down the Trinity River. And I've had quite a few questions along the way, so I thought I would address those questions the best way that I could. And you know, a couple of the questions are, I'm sorry, I just, instead of write them down, I put them on my little phone here, is what are your thoughts as you end the Mississippi and make the turn for home? It's difficult to put in words what my thoughts are, or onto video in this case, but a sense of accomplishment. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to canoe the entire Missouri and 800 miles or whatever it was on the Mississippi. Somewhat surprising. I'm looking forward to getting home, but I'm also still trying to soak everything in. So I would say the overriding feeling is satisfaction. It's been very rewarding. Has the trip lived up to my expectations? Absolutely. I knew that this would be a really difficult trip, especially considering my inexperience. I really didn't know what to expect as far as the canoeing aspect. That's been very rewarding. I think I've improved as I've gotten along. I think going through some of those lakes were just absolutely crazy, but very rewarding, and you know, I've seen a lot of things, and I've had a lot of experiences that a lot of people just simply will never have the opportunity to enjoy. So I feel very fortunate to have had those opportunities. So yeah, the trip has lived up to my expectations to this point. In fact, it's exceeded my expectations. Sorry, some technical difficulties here. What is the most valued piece of your equipment that you have on your trip? Well, you know, clearly the canoe is the most valued piece of equipment. But believe it or not, the item I absolutely could not do without is my $10 or $15, you know, big box, low-cost store chair. You can get at, you know, other places. At 10 or 15 bucks, just a fold-up chair I throw in my canoe. That, without question, has been a godsend, because at the end of the day, when I pull into the beach or I pull into my campsite, it is so great to have something to sit down on. So the chair is absolutely been a savior. What is something you thought you would use that you really don't? My saw. I really thought I would build more campfires. I really haven't built more campfires. There's a fishing boat coming here, so I apologize. But probably my saw. I really haven't used my first aid kit much either. That's a good thing. But I thought that I would probably dip into that or tap into that a little bit more frequently as well. What has surprised you the most on the trip? I knew that I would run into very generous people. Not that I expected it, but you know, from all the stories that I've heard before. But the lengths that people will go to that have gone to help me out, it's just been very humbling and really remarkable. Without question, that's far exceeded what I had anticipated, and just like, for example, Norm Miller, the guy, went out and fished out my bag and, was happy to do it. I think he actually had almost more satisfaction than I did. So that's just, representative of what people have done for me, which has been remarkable. What are your biggest concerns on the Red River? Well, the length of it, for one. It's going to take a long time for me to get up to the Denison Dam, and then actually across Texoma, and then I'll have a little stretch there. Of course, the current concerns me. I've been on it now for a day and a half. That concern has been somewhat abated, although, you just don't know. I'm not familiar with what's upriver, and that will be a challenge. Also, what concerns me is how shallow it's going to become. Once I make that turn west on the Texas-Oklahoma border, if I'm dragging my boat, that's going to be time consuming. So that really is a big concern. Not so much the current up there, but just the depth of the river is my main concern. Are you ahead or behind schedule from what you had estimated? I would say I'm probably about 2 weeks behind, which isn't bad really, considering the weather that I had up in the Dakotas and in Montana with the wind, and I've spent some time in towns just to recuperate. When you plan this trip, you don't realize that paddling every single day 8-10 hours, it can take a lot out of you, and you really need that downtime to recharge the battery, so to speak. So I'm behind a little bit. I'm probably going to finish a little bit later than I anticipated, because I think it's going to take me a little longer to get up the Red River than I expected, just because of the distance. What have you missed the most? Well, of course, my wife. Not much more to say than that. Do you miss watching TV or being cut off from news, current events? No, I really don't. I really don't miss. I miss sports. I keep up. It's football season now, so I really miss watching the Patriots play on Sunday. That's must-see TV. Fortunately or unfortunately, my other sports team, the Red Sox, they had a terrible year, so it wasn't that bad missing out. But I really don't miss watching TV. That being said, when I do get into towns and I watch TV, I definitely enjoy it, and I seek out sports and sometimes news as well when I have access to it. But I definitely don't miss it. Are you bored or tired of paddling every day? At times, yeah. When you wake up and you wake up and paddle, and you repeat the process. That's what my life is. But I'm really not bored, because each day's a new adventure. So it's like a series of 125 canoe trips that I've had, or 118 or whatever it is, minus the days I've had off. So, and the terrain has been so different. Montana is completely different than what you see behind me here in Louisiana. So it really has been interesting, because the terrain and what I see has been different. Like today I saw 8 alligators. Obviously you're not going to see alligators in Montana. You're going to see moose. You're not going to see moose down here. So because of the differences in the territories and states that I've been to, that really has kind of kept it fresh. So no, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm bored. There are times where, yeah, it'd be nice to just not have to wake up and paddle or feel that pressure to make distance or time. So those are a couple of the questions that people have asked, and I appreciate everyone that's following, and frankly, if you're still watching this video at this point, I appreciate it, but perhaps, perhaps you need to look for better things to do. But just kidding. But nonetheless, I appreciate everyone's support, and we'll talk to you soon.